This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
On the first Pasuk of this week's Parsha, Vayeira elav Hashem be'eloinei Mamre, and Hashem appeared to him in the plains of Mamre, v'hu yoshev pesach ha'oel k'chayim hayom, and he was sitting at the opening of the tent in the heat of the day. There's a question on this Pasuk. When I saw the question, I said to myself, I can't believe I never asked this question. The object of this Pasuk, the focus of the Pasuk, is Avraham. The only problem is, Avraham's name is not mentioned in the Pasuk. Avraham is almost missing from the Pasuk. What do you mean, Vayeira elav Hashem? Hashem appeared to him. To who? To who? Oh, to Avraham. How do you know it's Avraham? Well, beforehand we were talking about Avraham. Okay, but it's a new Parsha. It just says, Vayeira el Avram, Vayeira Hashem el Avram, Vayeira el Avram. Why is Avraham's name not mentioned? Vayeira elav. It's almost like his name is conspicuously absent. This is the question of the Sefer Bas Ayin of Rabbi Avraham Doiv from Averich, and I had the great zchus to be at his kever in Sfas in the beginning of the year, as well as to actually say over Dvar Torah from the Sefer Bas Ayin in the shul of the Bas Ayin. And the Bas Ayin says in the beginning of the Parsha that this is a question of many tzaddikim, most notably the Alshich and the Kli Yakar. Avraham's name is conspicuously absent from the Pasuk. So the Bas Ayin answers, based on Rabbeinu Bechaye, a little bit later on in the Parsha, after Hashem finishes speaking to Avraham, it says, Vayal Elokim me'al Avraham. The Ribbanu Shalom went up from upon Avraham. Va'avraham shav l'makayim, and Avraham went back to his place. Literally, Hashem finished speaking to Avraham, and Avraham returned to his place. But actually, Vayal Elokim me'al Avraham, and the Ribbanu Shalom went up from Avraham, that implies the Ribbanu Shalom dwelt and resided on Avraham, and upon the conclusion of that communion, Avraham returned to his place. Rabbeinu Bechaye explains, what does it mean Avraham returned to his place? That while the Ribbanu Shalom was speaking to him, it's as if the Ribbanu Shalom occupied the entirety of the being and essence of Avraham, to the point that he did not even have his own feelings and his own emotions. He was completely the embodiment of the Shekhinah HaKadoshah. And when this conversation was up, Avraham returned back to himself, back to his place. That is, Dahainu, he returned to Avraham. The emotions and the feelings and the personality of the individual Avraham returned back to Avraham, because so long as Ribbanu Shalom resided on him, it's ki'ilu, it wasn't Avraham, it was the Ribbanu Shalom. There's Ribbanu Shalom's home. Well, says the Bas Ayin, a very interesting chiddush, that it could be that when the Ribbanu Shalom finished speaking to Avraham, that which Avraham returned back to him was only before the Bris Milah, when Avraham actually had a physical component. After the Bris Milah, Avraham had so successfully purified it himself that it was ki'ilu the Ribbanu Shalom was permanently a resident in Avraham Avinu. And even when the Ribbanu Shalom wasn't speaking to him, that was the home of the Ribbanu Shalom, to the point where it wasn't Avraham bin Makaimai, it was Ribbanu Shalom's place. You could ask, and as this is pointed out in the footnotes in the Sefer Bas Ayin, that the Pasuk of the Avraham shav l'makayimai is speaking about after the Bris Milah, but nevertheless, this is the idea of the Bas Ayin. Therefore he says, Vayeira elav Hashem. Hashem appeared to him. Who's to him? Almost to himself. He appeared to himself. In that, he appeared to Avraham, and Avraham was so purified that Avraham himself was, so to speak, the home of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So it's Ki'ilu Hashem appeared to Hashem, because Avraham had so successfully made his entity inhabitable for the Ribbanu Shalom. It's as if the Ribbanu Shalom appeared to the Ribbanu Shalom. That's the secret of the Pasuk, Vayeira elav Hashem, says the Holy Sefer Bas Ayin, an incredible pshat to a very difficult question. Wishing everyone a wonderful Shabbos.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.